What's your relationship with Prince? I thought he was your uncle. Or...
No, that's my dad's nephew. So that's my first cousin.
All right.
Yeah.
Because he had a reputation of being a shooter. He was the hands-on guy from what they say. You know
and
what
I also feel like that was another narrative because they said he had bulletproof hats and bulletproof BMWs and bulletproof cell phones. Like
hats?
Yeah, people just make people really want to live a movie, bro.
A bulletproof fitted would weigh like 40 pounds.
In the 80s? In the 80s.
Right?
Like, you see the outrageous these people be saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, we don't even know if he was I don't even think he was a shooter, bro. I think that's just what the narrative was. Because he beat all his murders. So, I mean... How could he be a shooter if he beat the murders? Like, if you're not convicted, you ain't that, right?
Vaughn beat all his murders. Well, the ones they charged him with. Okay.
But Prince is, but back to your question, that's like, me and him is like this.
Y'all still have a relationship?
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Tony Yayo's career has been kind of like resurrected. He's talking on Vlad all the time. Some of the clips have definitely touched on 50's past and stuff about your dad and stuff like that. Do you respect the narratives that he puts out there, or is there anything that you think is a little weird?
What was one of the things that comes off the top of your head that you remember him saying about it?
I honestly can't even remember. I didn't write this question down. I just thought of it right now.
Well, I seen him. I'll help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
I seen him on Hoffa, and he was like, when you looked in Preem eyes, you see a whole bunch of souls in his eyes.
Oh.
Another person with some movie. That's like some movie shit, bro. Like, they trying to make this guy seem like he's the dragon or something. Bro, he was a black dude with green eyes, bro. I mean, that might have been like not seen before, but like, why would you go on Math Hoffa and say you seen souls in his eyes? So you basically implying that he was killing people.
That feels like snitching even after all these years?
I mean, if it's not helping him, it's hurting him. You feel me? Why he just couldn't say, yo, salute the Preem, you know, it is what it is, da-da-da-da-da. You had to go be animated and do that? But I like Tony Yayo.
If you're 50 or Yayo, it's like you kind of have to hype up your enemies because otherwise, what were you fighting against?
Exactly.
Like, you have to talk about your enemies like they were some crazy-ass killers, you know?
That's true. I never looked at it like that. They got to kind of, because it makes them seem bigger.
Like, that's why 50 will still mention your pops after all these years, is because otherwise, he's just kind of a regular rapper, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like,
that's why I said if it wasn't for him, 50 career might have not catapulted how it did. Like, it was like the whole David versus Goliath thing. Like,
and it's like 6ix9ine would have had a bunch of big fucking songs regardless, but if he didn't join the Nitrate Bloods, then people wouldn't have been as intrigued.
Exactly.
You know, you would have just been a SoundCloud rapper.
I feel like the world is intrigued and fascinated by street culture and like gang activity and like people just are so fascinated by that shit.
Yeah, 50 Cent said it best. He said America got a thing for this gangster shit.
Yeah, that's a real statement.
Yeah.
You probably got Unit tattooed on you somewhere.
I don't, but if I had been getting tattoos at that period in my life, I might have.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been kind of cringy.
Oh, what about Basically Projects now? Is it gentrified or is it still?
Hell no. I mean, you got a couple Spanish people in there now, but I don't think it's gentrified. Hell no. Hell no.
It's too far out. It just hasn't got hit yet. Probably.
I think Brooklyn was first. I think they was trying to get gentrify Brooklyn first, and then I feel like Queens would probably be next, and then I think the Bronx would probably be last, maybe.
I really need to go to Brownsville because when I lived in Bushwick, everybody would like Brownsville was the bad place that you could go if you wanted to.
Still is.
People just knew. Yeah, but then I hear people telling me it's getting a little gentrified, so I really want to go see what the fuck it looks like.
Yeah, but you know the thing about gentrification in New York is
slow.
This week, this block will be gentrified, and then you turn the corner and it's back to reality. So I mean, if I were you, I probably would have my security with me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's or I'm gonna be in an Uber just.
But matter of fact, you might be good because people know you. So
yeah, that's the problem.
If you can go back to when you first started podcasting or when you started doing your show, would you have like done it where like Vlad was behind the camera and like you not be on camera but you interviewing the people? Like,
nah.
You wanted to be famous.
Yeah, for sure. I always saw the value in that, and I think Vlad, in a lot of ways, was a genius for realizing that, because it's easier for him to have people take over for him. Like, he has all kinds of different people doing interviews for him. And as long as you're like solid at asking the questions, you can kind of pull it off. Whereas like for me to have people who are actually popular co-hosts on here, it is fucking hard. Like, they have to really like you in order to watch you interview somebody on No Jumper. Whereas Vlad kind of gets whoever. So he has a lot of people doing interviews.
He just get journalists to do it, really.
Well, he gets, people from hip hop and everything like that. But if it's just a voice, it's a lot easier for people to listen to like just a voice asking someone questions.
But I also see that when they know that it's Vlad talking, the interviews do better numbers.
True, yeah.
So let me ask you this. So when you, based on who you hire and who you have on the show, like, what if everybody hates that person? Is that a good thing too? If
Their
they hate
days
them?
are probably numbered. Like
Really?
if everybody hates them,
But
yeah.
I feel like if people tune into you because they hate you, that's still views and that's still money.
Oh well, if they watch you, then yeah, I mean that could be
Because
a
I feel
thing.
like I feel like that's me. Like I said before, like I feel like people hate watch me, but at the end of the day, I'm still producing the numbers. I'm still producing the engagements. Because like Floyd Mayweather, they hated him, but they still bought his fights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like hate could be a good thing.
But the thing is that I could interview somebody who's hated and have it really do numbers because people are kind of fascinated by this person they hate. But if you're going to be a host on here long term, interviewing people / talking to different homies every week, at a certain point, they're going to like the hate thing, unless you're like super entertaining as the villain. At a certain point, they're going to have to like you.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if we've ever had a host on here that people just hated and that's why they were popular. Maybe Flacco kind of comes to mind. They're
I was
like,
about to say,
Yeah, I like
he's like
that
love-hate
love-hate
but people do
relationship.
love him as well.
Yeah.
You know,
You
I
got
like
know.
Flacco. When I came in here just now, like Flacco,
He said you like 50 Cent. He said he asked you, "Are you 50 Cent's son?" Right?
yeah. No, he asked me was I his brother. He asked me was 50 my dad's
Is that
son.
a question that you get a lot?
Bro, I think people think that I'm such a troll. Like when they see me, they want to troll me before I can troll them. So they'll just ask me that. But you know, I want him to unblock me. I want 50 to unblock me because he
50
had me,
got you blocked on Instagram.
yeah, he's
Why?
had me blocked for like 4 years.
Did you hit him up or like what caused it?
Cause I asked him let's do a DNA test, and he blocked me after that.
Have you ever ran into 50 anywhere?
I seen him before I took the picture with Marquise. I used to chill with Prodigy a lot. Yeah, it's crazy. And
RP to Prodigy.
Well, yeah, where did that come from? That connection?
bro, I'm connected with a lot of things, bro. Like the guy who owned the club Griffin in the city, his brother was in jail with my uncle. So when my uncle came home, yo, come to the club, and then I got cool with the owner, and then the owner and Prodigy was best friends. So we was all at the guy who owned Griffin house one night, and Prodigy was in there, and then my uncle said, yo, that's Preem's son right there. So Prodigy called me outside. He was like, yo, you know, it's all love. Like, I know I might have said some stuff in the past, but like, you know, I don't got nothing against your pops. Your pops was a legend. You know, anything you need from me is all love, et cetera, et cetera. And then me and Prodigy just started hanging out with each other. Like, and he was real respectful. So Mobb Deep was having like an album listening party or some shit like that in the city, and 50 was there. And I was hitting Prodigy up like, yo, I'm trying to get in. Like, how can I get in? And he was kind of spinning me. So I'm like, yo, why this nigga spinning me? I thought we was cool. And then come to find out he was spinning me because 50 was going to be there.
Yeah.
But 50 didn't know me. But when he walked out, I was walking in. And Prodigy was spinning me, but I was like, I'm one of those people. I'm still going to go and see if I can get in. I'm not going to not go. Like, I'm just going to take a chance. So I went up there, and I wound up still getting in. But as I'm walking in, me and my uncle and like a couple other dudes, 50 and his security's walking out. And like, he looked at me, and then he just kept going, and then he turned back around. Like, I felt like he kind of seen my dad, or he seen me in a way, or like a gut feeling. Like, he seen me in the way he looked, cause I'm on point, cause I'm like, damn, I hope this nigga don't.
Because 50 the person, if you run into him and you got problems, it could.
You get what I'm saying? But so he looked at me, and he kept walking, then he turned, and then we turned back at the same time. And it was like a weird moment. And I don't know, like years later, he was like, yo, that was that motherfucker, yo. Like, cause he probably was like, yo, this nigga looked like Preem.
It's hard when you get to the point where you know like 500,000 people, because you'll see somebody in a club or in an event and your brain just takes a little bit longer than the average person to do the calculation and be like, wait a minute,
And
that's
then
him.
And then it'll hit you when you get in the car.
That's happened to me many times.
It hit you when you
yes.
get in the car. Hell
And
yeah.
then I'll be like, fuck, I should have done something. I should have screamed at that person. I should have said something.
Should have spit on them.
Anything.
What do you think would happen if you and 50 Cent run into each other knowingly?
A conversation. Cause I don't have a problem with him. I will want to have a sit down with him where it's just me and him. There's nobody around. There's none of his goons around. None of my goons around. It's just me and him, and just drive around and me and him could just talk. Like, I want to know a lot of things. I'm sure he will be open to communicating with me about, but I really want to pick his brain. Like, I want to have like a real conversation with him.
We just hit 600,000 subscribers on the Clips channel right here. We're trying to get to 700, so you know what to do. Smack that red button and subscribe. Appreciate you.